Hello students, today will we discuss about Jayant Mahapatra's contribution to Indo-Anglian poetry. जयंत महापात्र हंगर के पोइट हैं, ओके, और ये इंडो एंग्लियन पोइट्स हैं. जयंत महापात्र इज वन ऑफ द मेजर इंडो एंग्लियन पोइट्स. हिज कंट्रीब्यूशन टू इंडो एंग्लियन पोइट्री is very weighty and substantial. He ranks with the Indo-Anglian poetry. He ranks with the best of them. He shows as great a command of the English language as Nijam Ezekiel, Ramanujan and K.K. Daruwala do, and he can claim as much originality as any one of them. His output is also by no means small or slender. His poetry completely falsifies the views that an Indian should not write poetry in the English language. ये जो थे जयंत महापात्रा एक इंडो एंग्लियन पोइट थे और इनका इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा योगदान है. ये एक बेस्ट पोइट्स थे. ओके, फर्स्ट है हमारा हिज मैनीफोल्ड कंट्रीब्यूशन टू इंडो एंग्लियन पोइट्री. हिज पोइट्री completely falsifies the view that an Indian should not write poetry in the English language. In fact, Mahapatra is one of poet whose sensibility is wholly Indian and who has yet written highly successful poems in the English language. His contribution to Indo-Anglian poetry includes his enlargement of its themes, the originality of his approach and treatment of his themes, the felicities of word and phrase, and his imagery, which is sometimes perfectly realistic, sometimes symbolizes, sometimes surrealist, and sometimes of the common, familiar, and everyday kind. In this connection, it has to be emphasized that Mahapatra belongs to the symbolist, surrealist stream of poetry. And while writing poetry of this kind, he has enriched Indo-Anglian poetry and extended its scope and range. Next is his enlargement of themes. Mahapatra stands alone as a poet who has brought a particular region of India on the map of Indo-Anglian poetry and added greatly to the importance, dignity, and stature of that region, while at the same time pointing out and even emphasizing the ugly and seamy side of the life of that region. Mahapatra is above all an Odia poet, and the Odia landscape constitutes the most important and significant theme in this poetry. His emphasis on the Odisha landscape has imparted a greater Indianness to Indo-Anglian poetry that the work of any other Indo-Anglian poet has done. The coastal town of Puri and the ruins of Konark temples figures prominently in his poems. Down at Puri, Taste for Tomorrow, Slum, Evening Landscape by the River, and Events are poems which deal chiefly with the Odisha landscape. Of these, Down of Puri, the most conspicuous, the most realistic, and perhaps the most interesting, with its endless crow noises, with a skull lying on its holy stands, with its white-clad robed women waiting to enter the great temple of Lord Jagannath, and so on. Taste for Tomorrow also depicts a scene at Puri with its cross, with its one very wide street, with its lepers and with its religious minded or religious seeming crowds thronging the temple door. Other poems depicting the Odisha landscape and alluding to the culture and the ancient history of Odisha include the Odisha poem, Odisha landscapes and evening. In the Odisha village, Mahapatra has surely been able to magnify the image of his native region in our minds. And third, his treatment of theme of love. Sex and love are another conspicuous theme in Mahapatra's poetry. This theme certainly figures prominently in the work of every Indo-Anglo poet, but each one of them has dealt with this theme in his own way. The poem entitled Lost is one of the Mahapatra's finest love poems. In this poem, something seems to have gone wrong with a man's love for a woman. Mahapatra here depicts the flaw in this love affair by comparing it with the first faith of some child going wrong and then comparing it with some defect in a mechanical toy. At the end, he compares his loss with one's loss of watch, which one has misplaced. Next, his social concerns. Mahapatra has enriched Indo-Anglian poetry also with poems in which he expresses his social and political ideas and leanings. Both Hunger and the Warehouse in a Calcutta street show his distress over poverty, which is undoubtedly the greatest problem in our country. He obviously feels much why the poverty and the destinations of the Indian people. His dark view of the state of affairs in his country also finds a clear and emphatic expression in his poem, The 25th Anniversary of our Republic. Next, his most striking contribution. One of the critics has given us what is perhaps the soundest analysis of Mahapatra's genius as an Indo-Anglian poet. No other Indo-Anglian poet approached the depth, the sweep and the subtlety of Mahapatra's imagination. Most Indo-Anglian poetry, no matter how subtle and suggestive it might be, is basically, but much of Mahapatra's poetry is difficult, if not impossible. To paraphrase, most Indo-Anglian poets find it difficult to manage without logic and reason. Mahapatra, seldom lapsing into incoherence and meaninglessness, achieves a wonderful belonging to the symbolist surrealistic stream. As he does, he depends upon the resources of unconsciousness. Next is his philosophical, psychological and reflective poetry. Mahapatra is by no means a shallow-minded poet. On the contrary, he is a deeply philosophical and profoundly reflective poet. The logic grasp, the exile, the total star and the moon movements are the most conspicuous and the most impressive poems of this category. Total Solar depicts both the approach to the natural of the solar, the scientific approach and the superstitious approach. The scientific approach is indicated by the line, quietly the moon's dark veil moves on, and the superstitious approach is indicated by the reference to the fearsome Brahmin priest in the temple treatment the dark night sun as a portrait of the gods. Last, imagery. Mahapatra has enriched Indo-Anglian poetry by his imagery also. He is an imagist, meaning that he has written poems which are short and which contain a number of vivid pictures having no apparent connections with one another. In fact, he has written a number of excellent imagist poems. Indian summer poems, A Missing Person, and Down at the Puri are first-rate imagist poems. In the first named poem, for instance, we have 3 or 4 separate images or pictures which are not interconnected with but which combine to develop what Mahapatra believes is the atmosphere of an Indian summer in Odisha. Taste for Tomorrow is also an imagist poem. The first picture here is at Puri the close. Then follow other pictures with the closing line containing a philosophical ideas, namely that a huge only flower is swaying in the wind of greater regions. Evening Landscape by the River is another imagist poem. Here we have the separate and disconnected pictures of the fisherman's broken shakes by the river, a temple standing frail and still in the distance, as if lost in a reverie, and a 6-month-old child crawling across the dung-washed floor. The time is evening and some light laughter is audible over the darkness of water. The uncertain light of the moon is falling and resting there like a familiar but useless ornament. We have not only the essential images but also incidental images like the floor being a dung-washed floor and familiar but useless ornament. All the imagery in these poems is vivid and realistic. This is Mahapatra's special contribution of Indo-Anglian poetry.